Hello and welcome to Nothing to Wear, the podcast that solves fashion problems and levels up your wardrobe. I'm Tamara, Holland, and each week we chat about all things style to help us get more out of the things we already own and decide what is and isn't worth adding to our wardrobe. Today I'm joined by Hayley Cooper. She is a personal stylist with over 16 years of experience in the industry in fashion marketing and styling, and she is going to bring some of her hardcore fashion truths to help us get dressed, to help us address the gaps in our wardrobes, but more importantly, know what isn't worth buying and what she wouldn't recommend as a stylist. She's got some really amazing tips to share, and I'm so excited to get into it. Let's start off with the first thing that you as a stylist would not recommend we be buying.
So the first thing, and I've got some notes on my phone because they're quite extensive.
Oh yeah, no,
points,
let's get
which I
extensive. Let's
liked.
get into it.
So the first thing would be I'd never recommend purchasing items just because they're meant to fit your body shape. So this goes from all of the free guides that you've probably found about body shapes and color tones, and this is what you should be doing. All of that sort of stuff is great information to begin with, and it's a really useful starting point for most people, especially when they're at a point where they actually don't know anything to, like, what do they do? Where do they start?
Yeah.
That's always a nice starting point. But the thing that I normally find is that when people take that information and then they go to the shops and they try on the things that should be working for their body shape, they actually don't. And that's because
Right.
their individual proportions and their style personality and their lifestyle isn't really factored
There's
into
no
those
cookie
guides.
cutter approach. Yeah.
Exactly. So they might get into a change room and they're trying on the A-line skirt, which should absolutely work for their shape. And then they go, oh, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't look right. I don't like it. And they feel like their body is the problem, or they feel like there's nothing out there for them. And that's not the reality at all. It's really the education around dressing for their individual proportions and then merging that with their personality and how they want to feel just hasn't been found yet. And that's okay.
So don't buy things that you think should fit your proportions just based on like outdated kind of notions around body shapes. And because I feel like there was a very prescriptive sort of guide to women's body shapes that we've sort of hung our hat on for decades now. It's like the apples and pears and those sort of fruit cliches, right?
Yes.
Not to say that those don't have their place, like you said, but if you're very stringent about it and you really just think of yourself as one shape, then how can you ever find like other things that suit you, right?
Exactly.
Is
Get
there
stuck
a
in
new
repetition.
approach to body shapes? Like, has that fruit thing gone and have we tried something? Have we got something new?
I think that's still there. I still use shapes with my clients. So I still definitely do, okay, we're a triangle body shape, but maybe you cross over with an hourglass, which is really common. Or maybe you're an apple body shape, but maybe you do have a little bit more volume in your legs.
Right.
So it's
It's
looking
not as
at those
prescriptive.
individual points, but it's mainly about those reference points, which I go through with my clients on what parts of their body shape are we looking at to make sure proportions of outfits are fitting.
Okay, what's the next thing that you wouldn't be recommending that we buy?
So trend-based fashion is a big one for clients.
Ooh,
Yeah,
controversial
it does
because
get a
we
little-
are a fashion show
I
and we
know.
talk a lot about trends, but I have to say, like, I'm intrigued with this because
Yeah.
as a stylist, you're obviously very across trends, but when you say trend-based items, like what are we avoiding?
It's less about the items themselves, more about the concept of feeling like you need to keep up. A lot of clients come to me and they say, I feel like I'm outdated, that I don't have cool clothes. I'm not feeling good. I'm not feeling relevant anymore. That's kind of where it comes from. And with those clients, a lot of the time they're absorbing whatever fashion content they can find online, and it's whatever pops up on their feed, and that's totally okay. It's a good starting point. But then they can't relate that to their body, their lifestyle, and how they want to feel. So it's kind of always referring back to those 3 points. And a lot of the time they'll be buying into influence of fashion or they're buying into what someone else is wearing, which is okay initially. It can give you that kind of experimentation. And I do think trend is great for evolving your style. I think that's really useful and that's kind of needed. But then it's when you kind of go, okay, well, this retailer is doing this season. I'm going to buy the whole outfit.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it feels weird and they feel uncomfortable. And a lot of the time they can start to feel like they're kind of not cool enough or
To pull it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Talk me through the next thing
Okay.
that you wouldn't recommend we buy.
The next thing that I wouldn't recommend would be outfits that fall into the expectation of other people. So if you're, when you might text a friend and you're like, hey, what are you wearing to whatever the event is? And oftentimes I feel like that's not actually, yeah, you might be curious, but you might also be going, what are you going to wear so that I can wear something similar and I feel safe in that environment and I don't feel judged or out of place or socially awkward? That's a big thing. A
Yes.
lot of clients actually don't want to go places socially because they don't know what to wear and they feel like whatever they wear isn't going to be good enough.
It's a limitation that's
Yeah.
stopping them from getting out there. That is so true. Because if you feel like you don't have the clothes to like represent yourself or to fit in with that particular event, you might actually stop yourself from or psych yourself out from going.
Yeah. And how
Yeah,
boring
that's
and
a shame.
limiting and really
Mm,
sad. So we don't want that. We
mm.
want to go with the things that we want to be wearing. So that kind of comes back to that feeling focused dressing of what do I want to feel like in the situation that I'm going to? And having the courage and the confidence to do that rather than going, okay, well, I want to wear this, but I'm not going to wear this because this person might judge me or this person might question what I'm wearing. It's like when you get those comments like, oh, where are you going? You're so dressed up.
Oh,
Or
yes.
who would wear heels to that?
That's
And it's like,
so
well, I just
true.
want to.
Yeah.
So I will.
How do we get out of our own way with that kind of thinking?
I honestly think it comes with doing it. You
Mm.
literally just have to. Otherwise, you just feel limited forever. And that's so boring.
Yeah.
And I think once you do whatever it is that you're telling yourself that you can't, so whether that's wearing heels to a pub, that's okay. You can.
Mm.
And then you do that and you go, okay, well, I actually got compliments and I
Yeah.
felt good.
Felt good
So I'm
about
going to do it
yourself.
again.
Yes.
And then it's the opposite. If you do and you feel weird, you just don't do it again. That's okay.
Okay, talk to me about the next thing that that we shouldn't be buying
So
or leaning into.
the next would be things that are items that fill lifestyle gaps that you don't actually have. So
Mm.
this could be, for example, a white shirt. If you are not at a stage of life where that is a practical thing for you, if you're kind of finding it hard to wear anything other than jeans with a white shirt, you probably don't need it. It's also that example of, after having a baby, those early postpartum months,
Mm.
that mum probably doesn't need a good pair of jeans yet. She's probably at the stage where she just needs to get out of the hospital level tracksuit pants that she's been in. And she
Yeah.
just needs to feel that little bit better. So maybe that's a pair of really nice athleisure tights. That's okay.
Girl, you need elastic waist pants
Yeah.
at that stage. Like, no one is getting down on the floor with a baby in like tightly fitted jeans.
Exactly.
I feel like they were the first things to go when I had a baby. And like ever since then, I've really found it hard to wear jeans again.
Yeah.
Unless I'm really like, I'm going out and I'm dressing up these jeans. It's elastic waist pants all the way, but it's like cool trackies with the side stripe, or it's like my knit pants that I live in every day that like they're still comfortable, but they still feel that little bit more polished for everyday wear. Any more points for us? Anything else we shouldn't be buying?
Items that make you feel like your body needs to change. So, a lot of clients feel that things don't fit them or don't suit them, and that there's something out there for every other body in the world except theirs.
Mm.
And I get that. It can be really disheartening when you're in the change room and you try on like 11 things in one shop and you leave with nothing, or maybe
Mm.
you go for one or two of the maybe half there, maybe it's okay sort of pieces. And then it feels like your size needs to be different, or your body shape needs to be different, or your legs need to be longer, or you need to have less veins on your legs, or your
Yeah.
arms need to have less skin on them. It's all of those sorts of things that we get stuck in, and then we just revert to the same safe thing all the time. It's also going with that point, anything that you need to buy shapewear to wear probably isn't a great point for you to buy. So, or
Okay.
piece for you to buy.
Talk to me more about that.
So this is when someone might put on a dress, for example, and they say, yeah, I love it, but I feel like I need to wear shapewear with this.
Yeah.
And they're okay with getting shapewear to wear with that dress. But then I would kind of think, well, no, we need something with a bit more structure in the fabric, or we need something that fits the waist a little bit differently, or we need to make this easy for you, because if you need to wear shapewear with this, you're not going to wear it on a random Wednesday.
No.
And it gets really limiting. Probably going to be an impulse purchase that sits in your wardrobe.
Yeah, or like if you're needing to like suck in your body to a point where you're uncomfortable so that it sits right on you, it's not the right shape for you.
Exactly. And there's a better
Yeah.
piece for you somewhere else.
Okay, do you have any more points for us?
last-
Anything else we shouldn't be buying? I really want to just like pick your brain forever. So
My last
please go on.
point would be items that just don't feel like you. So this goes back to if you've ever put on, say, a top that you used to wear, you used to love it, the fit's still right, you still like the look of it, it's still in good condition, and then you put it on and you just go, this just doesn't feel like me anymore. And it's not necessarily that that's a bad piece or it doesn't suit you, but that's a pretty clear indication that your style has shifted. And this normally happens every 3 to 5 years for most people.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
normally, I would say that's actually quite a long time, but for some people it's a bit quicker. But generally, every 3 to 5 years, your style will shift. And that tends to be around lifestyle changes, around the natural changes in our body, but also what we're starting to see and absorb other people wearing when we go to the office, what people are wearing kind of starts to filter into our brain a little bit. And then it's kind of going, okay, well, that doesn't feel like me anymore. And that's okay. I'm going to find something different. But the thing where people get really stuck is when they go shopping for different pieces or new items that they feel they need, and they start to pick out the same things. And this
Right.
comes from a place of feeling like that is familiar, it is safe, I know it works, I've worn something like this before, this suits me. And then it's kind of blocking that evolution of your style a little bit.
Right. Okay. To that point, though, I guess there is a version of you where like you want to seek out the same things because they make you feel good and come like if you come to that place of comfort within your style, would you still discourage us from buying the same things, or is that like a good thing to buy more of what you love and repeat it? And
that would be a good thing.
That's a good thing.
That's a very good sign that you're pretty clear on your style.
Yeah.
You've got some style clarity
Just
there.
asking for a friend.
It builds your style confidence. But it also kind of goes, okay, well, these are things that I feel good in. I like them. They're easy to wear. And then you replicate with similar things that you can wear in the same outfits, but just interchange the items, which kind of goes to that capsule wardrobe approach, which I do with clients all the time. And that's really useful. That's a positive thing. Even when we do a wardrobe edit, for example, we would always start with the items that the client really loves wearing the most. And that gives clarity on, you like this sort of print. This is the right kind of theme for you. This is the direction that we're going in, but we'll build to it and add some unexpected things in there too.
Okay.
But yes, going back to the point of the items that just don't feel like you, sometimes we hang on to things that just aren't us anymore.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to repeat that same cycle. I definitely, after having my 2 kids in this 4-year space, I've got a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old, I have noticed that my style has changed quite a bit actually after each of those babies were born, after I had my kids. And I feel like now it feels a bit more fun, a little bit more youthful. And maybe before it wasn't so much like that.
Thank you so much for watching. That is all we have time for today. Make sure to like and subscribe to our channel to get all our Nothing to Wear content first. Bye.